Hey, just sitting here taking a break from working on one of my books. Um, I'm at home and I'm in my home version of the office. It's close to 3 p.m. and I've been considered as one of those people. I don't like to say non-essential, but I mean by now you've heard about the essential people and the non essential people. Basically, the essential people are the people that did not get furloughed from their jobs. And, during this pandemic crisis, they've kept their employment. And, if they've successfully, up to this point, dodged the virus, then other than that, other than having to wear a mask and sanitize more than usual, they haven't missed a beat, especially financially. And, you know, that's the thing. I think aside from this whole virus thing, a lot of people are worried about, concerned about finances. And it's frustrating. And what they do about it is they get upset. To get upset, in my personal opinion, basically means that you don't like what you're having to deal with. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say you hate what you're having to deal with. And hatred is an interesting emotion, and it's destructive at the same time. So, what I want to say is do your best not to hate what you're having to deal with. I know it's tough, but I mean, the more you hate anything, whether you want to call it frustration or anger or whatever you want to call it, you want to call it being mad at what's going on, then that's fine. I mean, it still destroys in the same fashion. Um, it adds to your mental anguish and it adds to your unconscious trauma. So, what you're doing is inflating your whatever trauma you've accumulated up to this point throughout your life. By hating on your circumstances, you're inflating that trauma even more. You're growing the body of your trauma when you hate or get mad at or become frustrated with whatever you're having to deal with. So, that being said, I mean, do something to divert your attention from hating your circumstances. I mean, we all know, I think we're all instinctively, not instinctively, instinctively trying to do that anyway. You see a lot of these people on social media with the whole TikTok thing or whatever you want to call it. Um, I mean, it's a diversion, but here's something you could try. Another diversion. Why not look the hatred itself directly in the eye? Why not face off with it in a manner of spiritually speaking? Why not try that instead and see what happens? I mean, if you think about it, there's a story in the Bible that talks about the Messiah. He goes into the wilderness to be tempted of Satan. And it says he was led of the Spirit. He was led by the Spirit into the wilderness. Satan didn't draw him into the wilderness to be tempted. Satan was there waiting on him, and the Spirit drew him into the wilderness. You could look at it like that. You're being drawn into the wilderness to face off with whatever negative mentality you have, not only about your circumstances, but about other things. And if you face it correctly, then you will come out of the wilderness unscathed, and you will come out of the wilderness and leave your trauma behind. Even as the Messiah left Satan in the wilderness, and Satan could no longer vex him, because what happened after he left the wilderness? The angels came and they ministered unto him. So, I mean, that's something you could try different. Instead of worldly diversions, you could try facing off with hatred head on, spiritually speaking. And you can watch it dissolve right before your very eyes. Anyway, thank you for listening. Subscribe to the Spiritology Television Network on YouTube. If you know somebody that might get some kind of meaning out of this little spiritual lesson, share the link and urge him or her to subscribe. Thank you again, and God bless.